Welcome to the instruction tutorial on the 2014 Spring Schedule WMYSA commitment process. This spring, all WMYSA teams will be required to use the GotSoccer commitment process forms. An email went out to all coaches and managers, and we also have available on the WMYSA website the link which will complete the process. I've already gone ahead and clicked on that link for the event registration. Please keep in mind that the registration needs to be done with the team account, so using the team username and team password. Please enter that on the left hand side for registered users and log in. Page 1 of the application process is a review and update of the team information. Please take a quick moment to check the club name, and team state as shown on your screen. If there are any problems with this information, rather than updating it here, please contact your club registrar or president and let them know there's a problem and have them update it at the club level. Go ahead and hit continue. Page 2 of the event registration application process is the main information you will need to provide. Items to keep in mind are that the season will start on Saturday, April 19th, and the last day to schedule any WMYSA games will be Sunday, June 8th. Easter is on Sunday, April 20th this year, and we will not be scheduling any games, including elite games, since we do not have any referees available. And since this is a short season, WMYSA has elected to include Easter as one of your 4 blackout dates. And now we're ready to go ahead and start answering the questions. The first is asking us if the team meets the minimum roster requirements. When the pass card system was put into play a couple of seasons ago, a new policy was also implemented for the minimum number of players registered on a team. If you have a U9 or a U10 team, you must have at least 8 players. If you have a U11 or U12 team, you need at least 10 players. And if you have a U13 or older team, you must have at least 14 players registered on the team. Please remember, if you have a dual rostered player, they do count as part of that number, whether they are a primary or a secondary player on your team. So we can go ahead and answer that question. Next, it's asking us for the primary home team field. For most clubs, everyone plays at the same location, and you can just enter that complex information into the screen here. For a couple of the clubs, they do have teams playing at different venues, so in that case, each team should make sure they're putting in the correct venue for where their team plays their home games. Go ahead and enter that in at this point. Next, the question is asking if you are requesting integration for your head coach. Please remember that your coach integration is for teams which share the same head coach. It does not include assistant coaches or managers or parents on a team. This is strictly the head coach only. If you choose to request integration for multiple teams, there is a WMYSA fee involved, so keep that in mind also. So go ahead and answer yes or no to whether or not you need and want head coach integration. Our next 2 drop-down boxes are asking where you would like to be placed for the spring season. The first is asking for your age division of play. For the majority of all teams, this is the same as your roster age. There are a small number of teams which will request to play up a division in the spring depending on where they ended up in the fall. So go ahead and choose which age division you want to play. The next is the level of play. Our choices are Elite, A, B, and C. Please keep in mind that the Elite Division begins at U12 and is an interleague division which includes WMYSA, Grand Rapids, and Lansing area teams. And if you are looking at the C level, you are really asking to make sure you're placed in the lower division available, since there are very few divisions with enough teams to actually put a C division in. So go ahead and pick your level of play. Next, WMYSA is asking if you are going to be using any blackout dates, and yes or no to that. If you are using a blackout date, keep in mind that this is for any dates that you are not available during the regular season. This would include attending any tournaments. If you know you're going to have a large number of players absent and you won't be able to field a team for a game. For instance, you may have a track event going, or maybe prom is that night, so you know you won't have a large group of boys coming. You may know that you have a church event such as a first communion or maybe a wedding of someone on the team where a large number can't be there. So you would go ahead and say, yes, I'm going to pick some blackout dates. Our next two drop-down boxes are asking for a yes or no answer. If your team is available to play on April 12th and or April 13th, please note that this is the weekend before the season starts. Typically we have some extra time at the end of a season to get in dates for conflicts and reschedules. However, this year it's actually prior to the beginning of the season that we have some availability to work with. This season, the school calendars have late dates for their spring break, and WMYSA always starts a full week after everybody's back to school, so that left a very, very short window of opportunity to schedule games, and we didn't want to just schedule games during the first weekend when everyone's coming back from their spring breaks, knowing that a lot of teams won't be able to have enough players. So rather than trying to make that a blackout date, we're trying to open that up as an open date to try and squeeze in some of those conflict games. You do not have to answer yes or no to both of them. You could say you're not available on Saturday, but you know you'll have enough players back and ready on Sunday, and answer that way, or vice versa. The next is a comment section. This section has been opened up for you to give us any additional information which you feel may be pertinent to why you chose the age division or level of play that you did with your placement request. Maybe you know that you're going to be adding a couple of strong players with you in the spring that you didn't have in the fall, or vice versa. You're losing someone that was a strong player for you, and that's why you are choosing to request the level you are. Then go ahead and hit continue. Our next page is the scheduled request page. On this you should see the 3 months that are included during our spring season. You'll note that all of the weekdays as well as the preseason and postseason weekends are already blacked out as closed dates that we cannot click on. So you don't need to worry about clicking Easter as a blackout date. It's already set up that way for you. So we can go ahead and pick our 3 dates that we need off. In this particular case, our sample team is going to go to a tournament on the 17th and 18th of May. So I'm going to go ahead and click on those 2 dates. And you'll notice that they come up with the little red line box, which indicates that it's a scheduling exclusion, meaning it's a blackout date for us. And then I also know that June 7th is graduation day in our school, so we're going to have a lot of kids gone for family graduation, so I'm going to black that date out as well. And I've now entered my 3 dates. If you had clicked no, that you were not going to schedule any blackout dates, you would have just gone ahead and hit continue when you came up to this page. Next is the contact information. This should populate with your coach and contact information already set for you. Go ahead and update here because it is your local information rather than club level information, and update it if it needs to be. In this particular case with our sample, you'll see that there's no coaching information, and that is because the coach information that we entered was for a coach that did not have risk management, and once you lose that risk management approval in GotSoccer, it automatically deletes you out. So in this case, the coach will need to retype all of the information in. And then you can again hit continue, and it will tell you you need to enter the coaching information before it will allow you to go on. So we would ask that you enter in at least a minimum amount of information. Continue. And this time, because the information has been entered, it will allow us to continue on. Our next step is the application fee payment and agreement. You'll notice that there is no fee for the commitment, so you don't need to worry about any type of fee at this point. The application agreement is asking you to mark the checkbox stating that you agree that by submitting this commitment form, this team will be playing in the WMYSA spring season. If for some reason your team doesn't form or you drop out of the league for some reason, your team and or club will accept any WMYSA sanctions and fees for not fulfilling the commitment. And the last note on there is that you have a reminder for all of the high school boys teams. The $250 deposit is due to WMYSA by January 10th. Once you've gone ahead and clicked on the box for the agreement, you can submit the application. And the final page to come up is your confirmation to let you know that you did complete the commitment form and you're ready to have your placements checked and your blackout dates set in the system for games. And have a great season. Thank you.